The success of government's National Employment Program reviewed at a special forum on Monday. A local amphibian technician says the public is beginning to understand the significance of the Kwapo, and over 30 individuals have been awarded for successful completion of a sound engineering workshop.
Thank you for joining us for another edition of National Focus. I'm Tasia Floissac.
And I'm Jarna Hector. Stay with us for details of the headline stories and others after this.
The Ministry of Health's monthly mass aerobics is on. Dress in your exercising gear and join the Ministry of Health and Fitness Plus on Friday, March 28 from 5 p.m. on the Bayfront for 1 hour of exercising and dancercising in the fight against chronic non-communicable diseases. Reduce obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes and cancer. Yes, make it a date and participate in the Ministry of Health mass aerobics session Friday, March 28 from 5 p.m. on the Roseau Bayfront. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
Thanks for staying with us. 3 months after the formal launch of the National Employment Program, government officials, interns, and employers gathered at the auditorium of the Dominica State College on Monday to review the success of the program thus far. The program, launched on December 2, 2013, provides unemployed youth the opportunity to gain job experience at public and private sector entities in a variety of fields. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Employment, Trade and Industry, Karine Prevot, explained that Monday's forum is the first of a series of quarterly reviews planned by the ministry.
These quarterly forums will really give us a chance to come together and provide feedback on your job experience, not just from your perspective as the employees, but we would also like to get feedback from the employers.
Employers represented at Monday's forum included the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Tourism, the Aid Bank, and Tongue Incorporated. Employment Minister Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre brought to the forum some reassurance for the interns.
We are not about to employ you for 10, 12 months and let you go. We are looking at a serious partnership with the private sector and the statutory boards and some of our other foundations whereby you can make that mark. And I've always said to you that just get your one foot in, make a serious mark, put a print on that institution, get that institution to do better, to generate resources, and I'm very, very sure at the end of it that you will not be, you will be very successful.
The National Employment Program is the brainchild of Dominica's Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, who sought financial assistance from the government of Venezuela for the initiative. The Dominica leader told the interns at Monday's forum that they are fully responsible for their success beyond the initial one-year period.
You have to carry out functions and duties given to you, because how well you do under this one-year internship program will determine what happens to you post that 1 year. I cannot guarantee you, my dear friends, that I will employ you beyond that if you do not show up for work. If the reports say that you are less than proficient, you are less than respectful, and you come to work and you are on the internet searching the World Wide Web, and on your phone, WhatsApping and BBM and all these things and so forth, Instagram and everything, while at work. You know, so we have to address this issue, but it is in your hands. Your future is in your hands. It's not in my hands, it is in your hands.
We will bring you more details of Monday's internship forum in Tuesday's newscast.
In more news, the second in a series of seminars on universal health coverage and social security got underway at the Fortune Hotel on Monday. Universal healthcare refers to the provision of healthcare to all, irrespective of age, race, religion, gender, economic, or healthcare status. Director of the Dominica Social Security, Janice Thomas, addressed the opening ceremony to mark the commencement of the seminar.
We believe that the collaboration between the Inter-American Conference on Social Security, CIS, and the Pan-American Health Organization, PAHO, to work together to assist member states in achieving universal health coverage is an honorable goal from which we all expect to benefit. The seminar will provide a forum to explore opportunities for collaboration and networking in the area of health financing among our health and social security practitioners.
Director of the Pan-American Health Organization, PAHO, Dominican Dr. Carissa Etienne, who was unable to be in Dominica for the conference, delivered a message through a video presentation. In that presentation, Dr. Etienne spoke of efforts made by Dominica over the years to build a solid foundation on which to advance universal health coverage. The director of PAHO is convinced that Social Security has an important role to play in the quest for universal health coverage.
Dominica must learn from this important lesson and ensure a unified health system where the Social Security contributes to the overall improvement in health care. The Dominica Social Security has participated over the years in the financing of health care. The important question, however, is what is the possibility that Social Security invests in a targeted manner in addressing the challenges which confront the health system in Dominica? For example, funding access for tertiary care services and investments towards enhancing the quality of care. As a key partner in this journey, this meeting is just one example of the level of commitment and engagement of all of our health institutions to accelerate the path towards universal health coverage.
Dominica's Health Minister, Honorable Julius Timothy, says the government of Dominica has been actively looking at ways to advance healthcare services on the island and at the same time make it more affordable for nationals. Collaboration with the Dominica Social Security, according to Honorable Timothy, is the latest option being explored by government.
The formation of collaborative partnership between the Ministry of Health and the Social Security through a pooling of funds may be an option to consider. Such a partnership can provide for adequate levels of revenue to finance the essential healthcare services provided by the government. Provide protection to families and individuals against financial catastrophe as a result of ill health. Ensure that the burden of healthcare financing is shared equitably by all population groups. Promote access to health care for all, including the underprivileged and indigent. This forum, therefore, can be seen as an avenue to widen the debate on healthcare financing and hopefully prompt all sectors of society to take the appropriate action collectively to address the issue of universal coverage.
The health minister noted that the government of Dominica spends approximately 13% of its annual recurrent budget on the healthcare sector. He noted that many factors are affecting the health budget, including the increase in life expectancy and the associated increase in chronic non-communicable diseases and their complications. The event was put on via a partnership between the Inter-American Conference on Social Security and the Pan-American Health Organization. The seminar on universal health coverage has attracted participants from across the English-speaking Caribbean.
Amphibian technician at the Mountain Chicken Conservation Project, Marshall Sultan, says the Dominican public is catching on that the threatened extinction of Dominica's iconic crapo is a real problem. Sultan was speaking to GIS last week at the breeding facility in the Botanic Gardens.
The population now is responding much better than back then because persons now have grasped the knowledge that we have been trying to push out, and especially with the school children where we go to schools and teach them the importance of the frogs. Some farmers will have sessions with farmers where they now see a pest increase, whereas when it had frogs. So the frogs actually used to be like a pest control for them. As well, certain locals, they're very into what we do and asking when can they have the frog back on the dish. So a lot of persons keep asking about the project, seeking information. And another thing as well is before, you could actually take 20 minutes and maybe get 20 frogs. Now you can take 20 minutes and don't find any frogs. So persons are very keen to know what we're doing to save the mountain chicken now.
The Mountain Chicken Conservation Project is about fieldwork assessments, breeding and public outreach. Sultan is assisted by Alex Blackman, a volunteer from the Zoological Society of London, who has so far spent 5 months out of his 12. Blackman has an extensive background in amphibian fieldwork in the Caribbean. He explained what the conservation project does on its regular forest treks.
We go out in the evenings and we go to various sites around the country trying to find out how many wild frogs there are left, what the status of those frogs is, whether they are healthy or whether they've got infection from the chytrid fungus, and so to get an idea of what's going on in the wild. We're going 3 nights a week. So we do 3 nights every week. We have 3 sites that we visit every fortnight, and then we also have a few other sites that we go to around the country where we're checking to see whether there's still frogs around. We don't actually know straight away whether they're infected because we have to test for the presence of the disease, and so the swabs that we take, they are sent off to be analysed to test for the infection. So if we find a particularly sick animal, then we may do something about that, but we don't generally know.
Breeding at the facility is a sensitive but necessary process, and clearly a lot is at stake.
We have designed the pens just like the forest. So there's water sprinklers, there's hiding spots, there's nesting boxes which the frogs would use in the wild. So the sprinkler normally comes on roughly 5 times for 1 minute within the day period, which normally rain stimulates the frogs' breeding. So we normally turn it on automatically. That's where we normally feed them so they can have healthy size. And during the breeding season, the males call and they go in the hiding spots that we designed for them. Hopefully they will breed. We can measure success by different milestones. When the project first started off, we had to start off by breeding the cricket and the cockroaches. So that's stage 1, and stage 2 we have to bring in the frogs, make sure that they're disease-free, which now they are disease-free in there. And stage 3 would be actually having them healthy, feeding, moving about. And 4 would be that the males now and the females have acclimatized to captive lifestyle, so they move about freely, they call freely. And last year, I must say, we actually was nest succession, whereas we had our first foam nest, but unfortunately it wasn't fertile. So this year, hopefully, we should get the fertileness. Fingers crossed.
While the conservation project does its part, the public is still being reminded that the survival of Dominica's mountain chicken relies on every person. Farmers are being urged to be conscious when slashing and burning or using chemicals. The public is also advised to report sightings of the crapo. Sultan says persons still persist in hunting the crapo, although there may be less than 100 on the entire island. The call to stop hunting the mountain chicken is more urgent now than ever. For more information, visit www.mountainchicken.org or Mountain Chicken Conservation Project on Facebook.
Meanwhile, New Zealand's Special Envoy for Renewable Energy, Mike Allen, has commended the government of Dominica for its ongoing pursuit of geothermal energy. Allen was addressing a press conference at the end of a 2-day Caribbean geothermal workshop at the Fortune Hotel last Friday.
The situation in Dominica is clearly a leader in the region. It's been through a long and sensible process to get to the point it is now, and I understand that it's not too far away from making some very significant steps forward. The team has been small here, but it's worked long and hard to achieve results, and I've been fortunate to have had a personal opportunity to visit Dominica on several occasions and watch the progress over the last few years. I think the project is being well structured. It is taking care of the initial issues that will be faced by any project, but all geothermal projects do take time and considerable investment to get them moving ahead.
The government of Dominica has spent over $30 million thus far in its geothermal energy pursuits. During last Friday's press conference, Energy Minister Honorable Rayburn Blackmore spoke of the next step for the project.
Fundamentally, what we're doing is taking this project to the next level. That is to, one, as we have said before, to construct the small plant and to provide for our people of Dominica an opportunity to benefit from that resource, and at the same time pursuing the bigger objective, and that will be done concurrently, of having a larger plant. We have started negotiation with the French consortium, and of course there is in fact a press release that speaks to some letter of intent to be signed by the both parties insofar as the development of this project is concerned. So we're well on the way. As you know, I would have said that we have been through all the processes required to take us to the next level. And we have gotten to a point where we have made this project a bankable one. So we will now start talking about the type of plant that we need, the kind of business structure we're looking at, management structure in terms of ownership, etc. All those fundamental issues will be crafted and form part of negotiations going forward between all the parties that are going to be partnering to develop that resource.
For the next 3 months, DOWASCO will show tangible appreciation to 10 lucky customers spanning Portsmouth to Grand Bay. As part of activities for World Water Day, which was celebrated on March 22nd, DOWASCO selected 10 individuals from a pool of customers who pay their bills on time.
We are happy this morning to present to those lucky customers a gift certificate showing that they have actually won that 3 months free water supply. The draw took place on the 21st, which was the day before Water Day. Water Day being a Saturday, we felt we had to do it the day before. And so we are very, very pleased this morning to do just that.
Bringing water to homes in Dominica within the context of the terrain is a costly venture. Chairman of the Board of DOWASCO, Larry Badwill, says DOWASCO is pleased with customers who show appreciation by keeping their bills at zero balance. He spoke of DOWASCO's commitment to partnering with the government of Dominica to bring water to the homes of citizens.
The cost of water is way beyond what customers are being asked to pay for water. However, it is so important and such a social good for the island of Dominica, for our communities, that we have to continue to provide the water whether or not it makes economic sense. So together with the assistance of the government of Dominica, the Ministry of Water Resources under the Minister, Mr. Reginald Austri, who has always provided support, and in general the government, because they have to support DOWASCO to meet the shortfalls in providing this very important commodity to all of Dominica.
The selected individuals received certificates that will allow them free water supply from April 1st to June 30th, 2014.
I'm elated to have free water supply, a 3 months water supply to management and staff of DOWASCO. Thank you very much.
Public Relations Officer of DOWASCO, Edward Regist, is pleased that the company is able to show appreciation and give back to loyal customers.
And 36 nationals were awarded certificates of success for a one-week workshop in the field of sound engineering at a closing ceremony last Friday. The workshop, which commenced earlier that week, was an initiative by the current administration to improve the island's human resource, born out of the realization that the lack of skilled personnel in the field of sound engineering is the leading factor impeding commercial success in the industry. Sound engineering concerns the creative and practical aspects of sounds, including speech and music, as well as the development of new audio technology. Director of the Department of Continuing Education at the Dominica State College, Merrill Matthew, congratulated the individuals, noting that the improvement of their competency will facilitate the trade of products and services on the global market.
I trust that your competence is much higher now, and CARICOM defines a qualification as knowledge, skills, and attitudes. You have acquired knowledge, you have sharpened your skills, but most importantly, I'm very hopeful that your attitudes have changed so that you no longer see this is how we do it in Dominica, but now you understand this is how we do it in the world. Nobody in the world owes us in Dominica a living. We owe it to ourselves. But if we're going to be a competitive workforce, we need to take ourselves up continuously in our knowledge, skills, and attitudes. So I want to congratulate you again for sticking out the time and for investing heavily in that training.
President of the Association of Music Professionals, McCarthy Murray, in his remarks expressed that statistics have displayed that music and activities that promote arts and culture can generate substantial economic growth.
In the field in Dominica, music was by far the dominant sector that produced added value to the economy. So obviously, when we come to do the budget, I some people from the Ministry of Finance here, we shouldn't be skinflints on supporting activities that promote art and culture, because these are definitely activities that can employ persons, generate revenue, generate foreign exchange substantially for Dominica, and we would hope that the government and other persons in authority who have the ability to influence where things go would put sufficient resources behind it. Because just remember the Creole Music Festival, of which I was one of the four persons who had the first meeting to talk about it, has become a significant event in Dominica, culturally, socially, and most importantly, economically. It generates quite a lot of revenue for Dominica. It's one of the main drivers for tourism in Dominica. So the fact that we are involved in cultural industries is not only for, you might say, social upliftment or emotional comfort, but it also has significant economic value.
This, he says, is one of the benefits of educating the youth on the necessity of sound engineering. Supporting partners in this initiative were the Ministry of Employment, Trade, Industry, and Diaspora Affairs, the Association of Music Professionals, the Dominica Coalition of Service Industries, and the State College Department of Continuing Education. Certificates were distributed by a workshop facilitator and representative of Basil Lai Entertainment Limited, Nigel Bazin from Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the Director of the Department of Continuing Education at the DSC, Merrill Matthew. And that's it for the English segment of National Focus. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, compagnie de Wasco ouvert tender pour bâtir de l'eau en Bells. Parole ça la sortie du ministre management de l'eau, Honorable Reginald Austrin.
Mais Bells c'est dernière place là, communauté là, à pays là, là c'est mon apani access pour potable water. Là nous dit potable water, nous avons water qui est treatment, water qui est treated. Et nous avons dit, hier nous ouvert ce document là pour tender, nous avons analysé ça et tout de suite nous avons un lot contract. Grosso là qui coûte nous pour qui 4.5 million dollars et là nous fait ça nous que ça parce que yon ça monde tout monde Dominique qui a accès pour l'eau et c'est le premier pays en la terre qui a ça parce que United Nations dit yo voulait ça fait par 2015 mais en Dominique nous avons dit par la fin de l'année ça tout le monde Dominique parmi les là où sorti parmi les qui couleur parmi les qui politique qui vision mais tout le monde Dominique qui a accès pour bon l'eau pour boire.
En notre nouvelle, officier de sécurité sociale en région là, attendez un séminaire où là vous visitez manière sécurité sociale ça jouer en part pour couvrir santé monde. Monsieur Augustus Etienne, c'est député sécurité sociale en Dominique.
Nous avons un séminaire en Fortune Hotel, un séminaire qui est organisé par Dominica Social Security, une organisation Mexico qui est Inter-American Conference on Social Security. Il y avait l'organisation Pan American Health Organization qui est Dr. Carissa Etienne, c'est directeur général. Nous avons un séminaire pour regarder comment Social Security ça joue un pas pour faire certains qui pays nous ça taper accès, ça n'a accès pour ça nous qui est Universal Health Coverage. Comme ça tout le monde qui a besoin accès pour santé, pour traitement santé, ça tape accès ça. Et nous réussi à mon pays en Caribbean qui parle anglais, Anguilla, nous ni mon Tortola, nous ni mon Bahamas, Saint-Vincent, Saint-Lucie, Montserrat, Saint Kitts. Et nous ni mon Mexico, et un homme qui a représenté Paro ici aussi.
En la nouvelle, le gouvernement Dominique a tapé bon compliment pour le projet géothermique. Parole ça la sortie Dr. James St. Catherine pendant une réception pour officier au ICS qui était ici pour un workshop géothermique semaine passée. Dr. St. Catherine dit Dominique bien devant pour assister au ICS et puis énergie géothermique. Le gouvernement Dominique déjà dépensé plus de $30 millions l'argent en projet salaire. Projet salaire qu'a expecté pour un soulagement par Dominicien sur le secteur énergie. Finalement, la compagnie d'Orasco fait présentation voucher pour customers qui étaient payé bill à yo asile pour mois février. La compagnie là a organisé l'activité là pour mettre attention à ces journées de l'eau internationale. M. Edward Regis, c'est officier de relations publiques pour la compagnie d'Orasco.
Nous tenions une activité pour célébrer World Water Day. Avec ça pour place semaine passée. Ça nous fait tout le monde qui était happy bilio en finissement mois février. Nous mettons nos dans bari et nous sélecter 10 noms. Et c'est moun ça yo vini ici aujourd'hui pour ça trouver cadeau yo. Et cadeau c'est ça yo ka taper 3 mois. On là yo pas kay payer glo. 3 mois ça a commencé demain. Le premier mois avril, il va continuer jusqu'à finissement mois juin. Avec ces gens qui bien contents.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nous nouvelles créole pour à présent. Nous, c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Here's a tip to help you motivate yourself coming up next.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
A quick Google search will give you thousands of ways to motivate yourself to do almost anything. While they may all be useful, I think a fundamental way is to stop thinking in terms of fear.
We're all guilty of thinking in the negative instead of the affirmative. We're busy not wanting things, that's fine and normal, but there is no action associated with not wanting something. You can't decide to do something because you don't want to do another. That's just not how it works. That'll just keep you on the couch doing nothing.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm.
Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel.
On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Tasia Floissac.
And I'm Jarna Hector. Thank you for watching.